Hey, what's up guys? It's Jonathan with Rev Free Moto. Today I'm going to be installing some original garage or OG Moto crash bars on my Harley Davidson Lowrider ST. If you've been watching the channel for a little bit, you may know that I recently had an incident where I dropped this motorcycle in on a gravel road and sustained some scratches, primarily right here on the derby cover. But today we're going to fix that and we're going to install these crash bars. Here's everything out of the box. I just wanted to show you how everything kind of comes packaged. This is the front crash bar and these are the rear. And then here's your instructions. And then these are, you can get these in all sorts of different colors, but these are your sliders that go on the end of the crash bar. So you can get them in like chrome and red and whatever color, black, whatever color you want. So that's how everything comes pretty well packaged. All right, so one of the first things that we have to do is remove this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, and this plastic frame plug here. Now to get this plastic frame plug out, take a screwdriver, very carefully insert it against this plastic piece, and then tap it with a rubber mallet, but until you actually create a small indentation in the in that plastic frame plug, and then you can screw it out just like a regular screw. So we'll go ahead and get that out of there. All right, and now that I've backed it off with a screwdriver, you can see you can just unscrew it like it's just like a regular screw. Comes right out. Now I am removing these three bolts, 1, 2, and 3, with a T45 Torx bit, and they are a bugger to get off, but slowly, with the right amount of torque, they are coming loose. I've got all of these loose, and this whole shebang is wanting to come off of here, so just be careful that it doesn't drop on the floor or anything like that. And that's why it was so difficult. You can see the blue Loctite there. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of prop it up on this box for right now, so it's not hanging down by the brake line. You don't want to put any unnecessary stress on your brake wire here. So, but yeah, these actually had some blue Loctite on them, so that's why they were incredibly difficult to get busted loose. Okay, on the other side, or the left side of the motorcycle, you're going to have 4 points of mounting points. You're going to have one, this plastic spacer, frame plug, so we'll have to take that out. This one was actually holding up my Virginia State inspection plate, so it's got that little spacer here, so we'll take that out. And then there's 2 more underneath, 1 and 2. You can hopefully see them, that are holding up your foot peg, so those need to come loose as well. I've got all 4 of the holes in the frame here on the left side ready to go. Here's my foot peg mount. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start mounting the crash bar now. All right, I had my son help me, and we have placed 2 bolts on one side, not tightened or anything like that. It's just kind of keeping it here, and then 2 bolts here on the other side, again just kind of keeping it here, so I can then remount my controls and rear brake assembly. One thing I did notice is I have this stone protector that goes over my oil cooler, and this bar is like right up on it, so I might have to take this off, which is disappointing, because I think this accessory cost me something like $40, $45. All right, but next thing will be to assemble the rest of the bolts. All right, I have the front bar on. As you can see, I'm gonna give it a quick polish, and then we'll go ahead and put our sliders on, and then it'll be on to the rear crash bars. Okay, for the rear crash bars, we're going to be removing this bolt on this side, and then this plastic frame plug down here. And then on the other side, it's going to be this bolt, and I believe this plastic frame plug down here. I'm sorry the lighting in my garage isn't great, but I've got all the bolts removed, and this is what was labeled from OG Moto as the D side. The other one is the G side, so I'm not really sure what that stands for. Maybe I'll figure this out later, but see, it goes right on there, and we'll just go ahead and bolt it up. All right, I just wanted to show you something really fast. So I've got the rear crash bars on both sides. Hello, cat. And wanted to show you something interesting, and that is that the rear mount bolt for this one, for the brake side, you can see it right there behind the exhaust. And with this stock, like I've got slip-ons on this exhaust, but I still get the stock header pipe, and I can't get to that. Like I use some channel locks to get it to that point, and I don't think it's going anywhere, but it certainly needs to be secured. So I'm probably gonna have to get some sort of a Allen wrench or something that's gonna fit that. It's a larger sized, like hex head bolt, so I don't have one that big, and even at this point I'm not sure an Allen wrench will even fit into there. So if you have any suggestions on how I can tighten that down without removing the header pipe, which I really don't want to do, then please leave a comment. I'd love to know any thoughts that you have on how the heck I'm going to get that tightened up. But I think it's definitely secure. I can move the whole bike just by pulling on the crash bar as it sits. But yeah, that definitely kind of was a curveball. So now I'm getting ready to put the sliders on, and we'll get it out into the daylight and take a look at all the crash bars. Alright, here we have the Lowrider ST with the newly installed OG Moto, or original garage Moto, crash bars front and rear with the custom sliders. As I said earlier, you can get them in any color that you want, but almost any color you want, but blue is what I chose. I think it really kind of makes the bike pop. It goes with my theme, the Sonic theme for the bike. And I did have to take off my oil cooler stone guard. That was a custom piece that I had there, and I had to remove that. It was interfering with the mounting of the front crash bar. These are very easily replaceable. You can order new ones if you happen to drop your bike or crash your bike and something like that, and you slide on the sliders. But if you have to replace them, then they're easily replaceable. One extra bonus feature of these is that you can also use them as foot pegs. So the idea is that the rear crash bars are to be used as passenger foot pegs. Now, I don't have a passenger seat currently, but if I had a 2-up seat for this, then the passenger, you know, if my wife wanted to ride on the back or whatever, then she could put her feet on these. So that's pretty cool. And then for like longer rides, highway cruising, if you can get your foot up here with this stock breather, I guess you can use these as highway bars. So that's pretty cool also, or highway pegs. But overall, I think they look pretty good. You know, they definitely changed the profile of the bike. They definitely stick out and are prominent, but it's not a bad look. I think it looks good. I think it complements the style of the motorcycle. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're running crash bars, what are you running? Tell me in the comments. Do you use a mustache guard? The mustache bars that a lot of people like. Are you running Bung King, if I'm saying that right? Or even Amazon crash bars. I've heard they're great, but a lot of the Amazon ones are a lot lower, and so the concern is that when you lean the motorcycle in a more aggressive riding, there could be some issues with this actually hitting the ground while you're leaning. So that's why I went for these. They're a little bit higher up on the motorcycle, and so that hopefully if I'm leaning over, I'm not going to drag these. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you watching the install. One last thing that I will say is that I have a specialty tool, I think it's called a micro driver, that should help me tighten this one bolt down that I was having some trouble with. But it's definitely solid on there. I'm not terribly worried about it. Once that part comes in, or once that micro driver comes in from Amazon, then I'll get that tightened down. Let me know if you have any questions about the install. It probably took me, all in all, about 3 hours, something like that, just because I stumbled through some of it. I had a little bit of a hard time getting some of those bolts undone, but I want to make sure I did it right. So again, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed to Rev3 Moto, please subscribe and like this video. That really helps me out. I hope this helps you, and if you're considering crash bars for your Softail, for your Harley, for your lowrider ST, any of the above, take a serious look at OG Moto. I'll put a link in the description for the bars if you are interested. All right, God bless, guys. We'll see you in the next one.